Evening all, welcome to Kicking Dust. Now today we're going to talk about particularly one topic, scout suits. Everybody kind of keeps asking me, firstly, why I seem to use scout suits all the time. But first, let's enjoy that moment. And he's gone. Oh, I know it's childish, but I literally had to stop. You'll see me run behind this concrete bit here. I literally had to stop and just get my breath because I was laughing so hard. There's something lovely about this game when you run over people. Anyway, let's talk about scout suits. I get a lot of people asking me why I run scout suits, and I think it's a really good question because, well, again, maybe let me answer it with almost like a counter question, which is why does everybody seem to run assault suits with assault rifles? That's pretty much the proliferation fit in this game, and I think, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that people do, because the fit I run is obviously a very shield tanked, well, I guess considerably shield tanked scout, which is also speed tanked. So I gain the benefit of having a particularly good shield. I mean, 343 doesn't sound a lot, but it regenerates very quickly, and it's all about, I never go toe to toe with anyone. The buffer is really there to aid me and get the hell out of dodge. So whenever you see me take fire, I'm usually running away, and having that 343 shield is really good, because having that much shield quantity really does help out. And I think a lot of people they do stick with what they start the game with. So a lot of people generally have stuck to Caldari Assault and the Assault Rifle. Now the TAC AR's been nerfed, I must admit that the reality is that pretty much the majority of people are now running the normal ARs, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't rate that much. I know a lot of people use them. I get it. I know that people use them, but for the fit that I run, anybody who's running an assault rifle is pretty much going to lose to an adequately fit scout suit. Let me explain. A lot of the time you can kind of see the way that people are controlling their character. So for example, if I run around, let's see who we see next. Let's just find this dude. Okay, that dude you're seeing there, don't know, chances are he's probably on controller. Okay, anybody on controller is going to lose to the keyboard and mouse brigade. I do believe that. Don't get me wrong, not in all cases, but I think just generally there is an advantage having keyboard and mouse, because I can do a 180 very quickly. And you see how I'm doing this. I'm able to jump kind of in a diagonal line to my target and then shoot down. So do you know what I mean? It just kind of becomes that you do get a natural advantage having keyboard and mouse. I do believe that. I mean, that could just be me, but I just feel that you track quicker. It's easier to aim. It's a huge amount easier to aim. You're not having to use kind of your thumb to aim. You're using your whole hand, and your hand-eye coordination is better than your thumb-eye coordination. I hope that's obvious to most, but I find it just a bit easier. Now, if you've played console games all your life with controllers, then I may be talking utter bilge and waffle. But again, this is just, I think, from my point of view. So every time I come against an AR person, the chances are, because ARs, even with a Devol, unless you're running a Devol with a lot of damage mods, the chances are I'm going to be able to tank probably, I don't know, maybe the first 5 to 10 shots of that person. But by 10 shots of an assault rifle, I've already fired off 3 rounds of a flintlock, or I've fired a shotgun. And in most cases, I've kind of I'm already moving, I'm already dodging, ducking, diving, weaving, dealing, running around, and so on. So I think it does kind of make sense to run scout suits as an opponent, if you like, to assault suits. Now, the only difference I'd probably say is that Caldari Logi suit does give me a lot of trouble, only because it has a very good buffer, and I think that's probably the biggest nemesis I have, is just how good the Caldari Logi suits are. They probably do need a bit of a tweak, but I don't think a big one. I still think Logi should be tough, but maybe we need to reduce the damage a bit. To be honest, that's kind of what Logi ships in EVE are like. They don't really have much damage output, but they are able to tank to enable support. So maybe just have a natural, we always talk about bonuses, but we never talk about detractors. So maybe what we actually need is like I don't know, it's not a bonus, it's a penalty. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. It's a penalty to damage, perhaps. I know that will piss a lot of people off, but it wouldn't you rather have maybe 75% of your damage output on any gun over losing your shield? You know what I mean? Otherwise you're just going to make the Logi the same as the assault suit, and that makes no sense whatsoever. So I think there's maybe an issue there. But again, I would stress, I think that there is a proliferation of assault rifles, only because, again, you start the game with them, so it makes perfect sense you run with them. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to change any of that because, again, as I say, I find that whenever I come up against, assault suits of any kind using ARs, generally I win. Just as you see here, just the way I'm able to jump and dodge and weave and that. I mean, this is why I would say the scout suit is, I think, one of the best suits out there. There's no real heavy suit that I'm afraid of. Even the best heavy in the game, 1000 hit point heavy, isn't going to concern me too much, even with whatever heavy machine gun you may have. The reality is that if you're using controller, you're dead, because I'm going to run around faster than you can track. If you're using controller, and you're in open ground, then I'm going to literally jump over you and then do a 180 in the air and start shooting you before I've landed. This is all the tactics I use, and hopefully you've seen these from the video, that I think just makes the scout suit very underrated suit. On paper, it looks crap. In theory, people are afraid to use it because they feel that in a scout suit, you're going to run it like an assault suit where you'll go toe-to-toe with people. But hopefully you've seen from my videos, if you've watched a few of them now, I never go toe-to-toe with anyone. I dodge, duck, dive, and run around them. I mean, you'll see me strafe. Strafing is the key to every game because there is a natural latency in any shooter. I mean, I learned this when I played Half-Life. Even before then, when I played like the original... really, really old games like, Quake, for example. These are all tactics from, back in the day that meant, your position on your screen is not the position on their screen. I hope that makes sense, because there is the latency between you. So by strafing and, ducking, diving, weaving, dealing, it does mean that you get that kind of advantage to your opponent. I find a lot of people, when they're running around, they'll just stop and shoot. They'll actually stop dead in their tracks and start shooting down their iron sights, which is great. And I find a lot of people, I mean, again, I've lost count of the amount of heavies that I've engaged. Like, I'll run around a corner here and I'll see a heavy, and he'll see me and he'll start shooting me, and I literally will just run right past. Again, I think people are so stupid that they think that everybody's going to engage on their terms. You never do that. You engage on your terms. And I think there is something funny about this game where sometimes people will just assume that, I've had heavies chase me, so I run past them upstairs and gone. And then I'll see on my map that they're still chasing me. So I'll actually stop, go back, wait around the corner, wait for this heavy to, to waddle past me, then blap him. And it makes me smile, because I think a lot of players are not necessarily thinking that much. I think they're literally just kind of the opinion that, there's a target, run, dead. There's a target, run, dead. And that's just ridiculous. You shouldn't run like that. You should always have a complete kind of level conscious thought when you play this game, because you should almost be trying to outthink. You can outgun, you can out-tank, you can out-everything your opponent, but if they outthink you, they win every time. And I think the scout suit is a wonderful suit that inspires, I guess, cunning tricks and dirty tricks. Because, again, there is nothing funnier than watching somebody who's obviously on a pad controller, and they're running right at you, and you just literally jump over them and you literally clear them, and in the air you spin around and start shooting them before you've even landed, and they are like, where the hell's he gone? And they're like then tracking around. And I don't know if you saw my last video, hopefully you did. I have this weakness in my body where whenever I see somebody who hasn't seen me yet, I don't kill them immediately anymore. I follow them. This used to be from my old shotgun days. I used to try and practice following people and waiting for the ultimate kill shot, not just shooting whenever I see someone. Is almost kind of waiting. So I see this dude, okay, in this case I run away, but let's imagine that I run all the way around the other side of the building now and shoot him. I do a lot of that and I get away with it. It just makes me smile how people will kind of think, oh well, he's gone out that door. That means he's coming back through that door? No, I run all the way around the building in the other door behind them and then shoot them in the face. I have no idea why people don't remember that this scout suit is as fast as it can be, and you can run all the way around this building in about 5 seconds. It does make me smile, because I think a lot of people do forget that. And I just think, you should almost really, and this is why I would say the scout suit is a wonderful thinking man's suit, and I would highly urge everyone to give it a go. You do need to have the advanced, or rather the complex kinetic catalyzers to make any benefit from it. But again, that's quite an investment. But if you're getting to that point where you've got that capability, or if you've got a bit of aurum to spare, I think it's viable. I really do. I think just get a good scout suit. If you've got, I run the prototype frame as well, so it's all kind of, it's expensive stuff, I know, but the benefit it gives you is extreme, and I think just this ability to to evade is very good. In terms of fitting, again, the scout suit can fit pretty much any weapon that any assault suit can. So again, I stress it's a good suit for general running and gunning, and I think it just comes down to, I know the assault suits can be made to be almost as fast, and I know they can be made to do blah 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 blah, but I just still don't think that they have the edge that the scout suit seems to have. It seems a lot harder to hit. It seems to be able to jump very high. It seems to have a lot of stamina, and stamina regenerates a lot quicker in this suit than any other suit. All of these things add up, I think, in my mind, to being quite a substantial suit. So there we go. That was pretty much me just literally pelvic thrusting in your faces about how cool and awesome scout suits are. So don't get me wrong, this is just my opinion. Literally, I think you all have your favorite suits, and I think you have also the suit, and you have the reason why you like that suit as well. I think for me, scout suits are underrated. And I think if you've got maybe a new character, if you're getting bored of running a heavy, or if you're getting bored of running the same Logi suits, try the scout suit. It's weak, but you will, when you get that click, and you can basically just gymnastic your way to victory, I think you'll have fun doing it. And I really love the kind of aerial acrobatics that one can do. So there we go. Interesting kind of discourse. Post in the comments if you agree with me. Maybe you think I'm talking absolute horseshit. Tell me what you think. Tell me what suit you're running and why you think it's best. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.